What's up, everybody? We're here at the lab with London's local superstar, Marcus Ottey. He's a professional basketball player for the London Lightning. Marcus, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a podcast and get into this type of stuff, so I appreciate you bringing me on, man.
Yeah, of course. We saw you cooking the one day. Bro, you had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 2 steals. Like, yo, who pissed you off that night? Yo, who pissed you?
Man, I was just playing ball, man, just having fun. It was just one
Yeah.
of those games for me, you know what I mean? So,
Has ball been your thing always?
I used to play football.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When I was younger, always has been my thing, basketball. But I stopped one time to play football. I did that for a little bit, and then I was kind of missing basketball too much, and it was kind of getting a little hectic having basketball practice and football practice in the same week. So I just decided to go with basketball. I kind of had to make a decision which one I wanted to put all my energy towards, and decided to go with basketball.
What age were you when you focused on one?
I started playing basketball. I think I was 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? That's when just started really getting into it for real, watching it. My cousin used to play for Scarborough Blues. I was around him a lot, so that's what kind of maybe inspired me to play it. And I started playing football. Grade 7, grade 8. I played for Scarborough Thunder for a few years. And I did that. That was cool. It was fun. I mean, I was good at it too. You know what I mean? But I couldn't get away from basketball, man, you know. So
Yeah.
When you played football, what position were you in?
I was quarterback, wide receiver, and on defense I played safety.
Damn, so both sides,
Yeah.
Okay, natural athlete.
Why do you think you went towards basketball and not football?
I guess I was just around it more. You know what I mean? So I was just inspired by it first and easier. But it got too hard for me, actually. The reason why I quit, it was a hard basketball camp I went to, Can 6. Coach Paul, guys probably know about it, man. It was just one of the hardest camps I went to. You know what I mean? I wasn't having no fun. It was just all conditioning. We're running on the track, defensive slides all day. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, I'm over this, bro. Like, I want to play football, man. Like, I want to try this out. Like, you know what I mean? So I went and did that, and I just realized, I was just being a little wussy about it. You know what I mean? I really want to play ball, so I just went through that, and I guess I had to go through that to realize what I wanted to do for real.
When did you feel that you kind of stood out from everybody else as an athlete in basketball specifically?
Man, I wanted to. When I started dunking on people, you know what I mean? So I kind of had a plan, man. I was like maybe grade 6, grade 5. I was young doing things that I know other kids weren't doing, man. I was in my backyard doing jumping exercises, lunges, and just finding other ways to get more athletic. I'm on research, and I'm looking up workouts, you know what I mean? And I know other guys aren't doing this. Guys are watching TV or playing video games all day. I mean, I was too, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But I'm doing calf raises, watching TV. Like, I was grinding as a kid, man. I even made my own jump soles. It was these type of shoes. It's kind of like a shoe with an extra thing at the bottom right here. And you work out with them. But they cost, I don't know, they were too expensive back in the day, so I pretty much made my own. I got a shoe that I didn't wear anymore, took some slippers, cut them up, and I kind of stacked it up right here, so it's kind of like you're on your tippy toes. You're pretty much working out on your tippy toes all the time, so I made those. I was doing a bunch of workouts with those. I was wearing ankle weights all the time. I was wearing those under my pants to school. I was wearing them in practice.
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
You're one of those ballers, huh?
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? I was doing 400 calf raises every night with weights on my chest. I was doing a bunch of things, man, you know what I mean? So I was doing all that before I even got to high school. So I think as I got older and my body started maturing, everything started really to kick in, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. So when that started happening, I started just dunking. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to separate myself. I'm always finding, even in life, I'm always finding ways to just separate or just get myself better or just be better, you know what I mean? And so I was doing that, and that's what happened, man. I started dunking. And for my size, I guess it was a cool thing, or you know what I mean? He's shorter, he's dunking, so you know what I mean? Looks better, you know what I mean? So when I started doing that, I really made a name for myself, and put me on the map, and kind of just started my whole, I won't say career, but kind of just took off from there. You know what I
What
mean?
do you think
Yeah.
kept you like so attached to like that craft? You know what I mean? Because there's so much distraction, especially at that young age.
I just made a decision, man. I even made a goals list. Like, I want to do this in high school, score this many points in a game, go Division 1, get drafted. Like, I accomplished everything on that goals list except get drafted. You know what I mean?
Like, what kind of inspired you to do all that, right? Like, did someone tell you, or this is just like your mindset that you
Man,
have?
yeah, just always had that mindset, man, honestly. I question myself all the time too. So I'm like, where'd I get it from? Why am I like this? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But my father, Marcus Ottey, he was a high jumper. He was
That's why you got the
he was a
bunnies, eh?
Canadian high jumper. So yeah, guys say that too. Oh, that's where you get the bounce from. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
the game we saw you, I literally was with him on the floor, and I was just like, yo, this guy's got bunnies. Because like, you're
Yeah.
just, whoom, dunking.
Yeah. So it is genetics. You know what I mean? I do, and my mom played volleyball too. So it's genetics plus the work I did.
Yeah.
You know, so what were we talking about? Yeah, my father, he was a high jumper. So I think I got a lot of that from inherited, just that work ethic from him. Because to be one of the top high jumpers in the world or be in the Olympics, you have to have a crazy work ethic, and you know what I
All
mean.
the
So I probably
details matter
just,
in like the
you know what I mean. I
workout
probably
and
just
everything.
inherited that hard work mentality. You know what I mean?
Would you
So
say he was like your role model as like an athlete, or like was there someone else who kind of inspired you?
he actually wasn't, man. I didn't want to do high jump, so I got inspired by so many different people. Like, I'd say my uncle was my first just role model in general. My uncle Sean,
Yeah.
and like my cousin, he probably inspired me to play basketball the most, because he was playing at the time, and I was always around him and looked up to him too. So, and it just looked fun and it was cool. So, but yeah.
What made you pick going to Chicago?
UIC, that was I wasn't say it was a tough decision, but looking back, it just seemed like you want to take the safest route. When you're making that college decision, you just want to make sure it's the right decision. And for me, that's all I wanted. I remember I broke it down to 3 schools. It was UIC, Nebraska, and Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Just gonna tell it how it is. I really wanted to go to Cincinnati, and at the time, I didn't really have no guidance with it either. And I was the only one really. My family, my dad went to college for high jump and everything, but it's different with basketball. So I was the only one really, or the first one to go through something like this in a basketball situation, getting offers and how to go about it. You know what I mean? And just the year I had before that, I went to St. Benedict's prep before I went to. Okay, let me just take it back a little bit. I went to Jay Clark, grade 11, and then I went to prep school for my 12th year, or grade 12. Went to St. Benedict's Prep in New Jersey, and that was a tough year for me. It was the first time I was away from home for real. I didn't play. You know what I mean? I wasn't playing any basketball. I was sitting on the bench all day. And I went there on a basketball scholarship to play, to get college offers and get looks. And then me sitting on the bench, I'm not even getting that. So it just felt like a waste of the year. But I went there with like 5 other Canadians. So it was cool having those guys there with me. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have made it through the year without those guys. You know what I mean? They know who they are. But I did that. So I was going to quit basketball after that year. You know what I mean? When you go through that type of stuff, when you're not playing and the game's not fun for you anymore, and man, it'll do that to you, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? It'll do that to you. So I felt like quitting, man. I remember sitting out my room some nights talking with my teammates, like, man, is this shit even worth it, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Having those real talks about giving it up. And so the next year I went to a different prep school, Spire Academy, and I ended up having a way better year. I ended up playing. I know if I could just play and showcase what I can do, I know everything would take care of itself. So that's all I really needed to do. So I was able to play and showcase my talent. Then offers started rolling in, high major, mid major, low major, and I wanted to play. I didn't want the same thing happen to me at St. Benedict's happen to me in college. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go somewhere where I could play right away. And it's all new for me too. The business, you're learning the business side of it, the politics of everything that goes on with it. So I knew I really wanted to go to Cincinnati. I remember praying before I was gonna make my college decision, just asking God, or just making sure I make the right decision. Like, you know what I mean? I'll just make me make the right decision. Help me make the right decision, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's it. And I remember calling. This all happened the same day. I remember calling Cincinnati the coach, pretty much telling them like, yeah, I want to commit. But then he told me that they're pretty much moving on, going on with somebody else. He didn't say no, but he gave me the vibe that like they're moving on with somebody else, because I was kind of taking too long with my decision, because I didn't know. I wanted to wait till the last minute or wait out my options. I was taking a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt like it was just me making that decision. You know, I had people exploiting me, wanted me to do this for this reason. You know, so that happened, and then I broke it down to Cincinnati and UIC. So when that happened, I pretty much knew UIC was a decision. I felt it was like a confirmation in a way. You know what I mean? Okay, Cincinnati's not it. UIC, they wanted me first from the beginning. When I went to Spire, they were the first. They showed the most interest. They showed that they want me, they need me. That's why they even made it to my top 3. You know, they're always in my options of where I was willing to go. So when Cincinnati was out the picture, I knew UIC was the spot. You know what I mean? I was happy to go there, great city. You know, the coach. I went there, one of my friends I grew up with on the same AAU team, Godwin Boyan. So I went there with him for 4 years. You know what I mean? So that's dope. That's something we get to hang on to forever. You know, we were there for 4 years, and, you know, we grew up a lot there, you know, going through college, and, you know, so.
I hear that, bro. Like, I went to Queen's University, so like, and I'm from London, right? So 8 hours away, first time away from family. So like, my first year was tough too, because I'm like really close to family. So like, I wanted to just quit school. Like, I was like, I'm done with this, you know? Because like, loneliness is a real thing, especially out there. But it really mans you up, bro.
Yeah,
like,
nah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
I feel like that's something you damn near have to get used to, though, or just you have to like or be comfortable being by yourself. You know what I mean? I like solitude. I like my solitude. I like my peace, and I mean, I could spend the whole day by myself. I could go the whole day being by myself and not even saying a word and be happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? You think if something's wrong with you. Nah, I'm cool. I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Take us through, like, the difference in, like, playing ball in America compared to Canada, like, when you first went out there.
At first, the competition was just, it was just a bit more competition going down there. We were playing, I've been traveling to the States for AAU since, like, the 6th grade. You know what I mean? That's the reason why we even went to the States, to face more competition, get more looks. But even nowadays, I don't think there's much of the difference, man. There's more prep schools up here. More people are coming up to Canada to come watch. More scouts. There's even pro. You got the CBL going on. You know what I mean? So it's growing each year. So I don't think there's that much of a separation between the competition in Canada or in the States. Yeah. You know, there's more people getting drafted to the NBA. Honestly, I'd say it was always there. We always had the talent. Like, I know a bunch of guys who were able to go Division I, but they probably just didn't think they could make it themselves because of their situation, and they probably didn't think they'd have the opportunity, so they never fully applied themselves. You know what I mean? So I know a bunch of guys who could have went D1, and you know what I mean, but they probably just they didn't think they could just because they in Canada. The situation that they in, they didn't think, you know what I mean? If they just applied themselves, probably like, not saying I did it the right way or like I did, or, you know, they'd be.
But you did, though, in a way, right?
You found a way and you took the risk.
And
that's like the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Have you found, like, with kind of going the way you went about things, it's like, are you humble? Like, do you feel a lot more humble because it's like there was a journey because of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I definitely had a lot of help on my way, but for the most part, like, to me, like, I did it on my own, for real. Like,
no agent, nothing. Like, that's.
I had an agent, but like, just figuring it all out on myself, just going through it, living and learning, failing, and you just going through it on my own. And you know, they say the rewards in the journey. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I look back at it all the time, man, and I have like I say it all the time, even if basketball would have stopped today, I got no regrets. I did my thing, man. Like,
what's Marcus without ball? Like, what do you think you would have done, or what's your passion outside of ball?
What would I do if I wasn't playing ball?
Yeah, like what's you? Like,
man, guys talk about that all the time. What would we doing if we weren't playing ball? Like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have went to school. I only went to college to play basketball. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you were in a studious guy? Like, you're in the books at all?
I am. Yeah. I love to learn. Yeah. You know what I mean? I do love to learn. I'm a nerd at heart. Yeah, you know what I mean? But school No, I was never paying attention in class. I was always daydreaming. I'm always talking or, you know what I mean, not paying attention. Or
I think it's tough is that you have a 40-hour week, like, doing athletic stuff, and you're expected to do the same commitment in the work in the school, right? It's tough. I bet. I'm not an athlete, like, I'm not, like, I never played in university, but, like, I could only imagine my boys having, like, it's a big schedule.
Man, I gave respect to the guys who were getting the A's and the B's and working out and going to practice and, you know what I mean, being a student athlete, keeping their grades supreme. I was like maybe a C student. I just wanted to pass for real. I'm not gonna lie. Not a D. I don't want a D. I don't want a D. I want a C. I'm cool with a C. You know what I mean? I'm cool with a C. I'm not gonna lie. I'm cool with a C.
Yeah.
But I was hardly ever paying attention for real. I was paying attention, but not paying attention. I'm in my own world, piecing other things together.
Yeah.
You know
well, it's in the same way. It's like the same thing. If a doctor were to go to university and they focus on becoming a doctor, you would just focus on becoming a professional athlete. And it's the same demand in the body and the mind. It's the same thing.
That's what really I was on. When I was about to go to Chicago for school, I told myself, like, I'm gonna give myself these 4 years, go as hard as I possibly can, like, give it all I got. For 4 years, I was working out like 3 times a day. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
7 a.m. class, back, working out, practice, working out again. After practice, you have weights. And I was doing that every day, 7 a.m. Every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day, 7 a.m. Getting that work. And after practice, back in there, I was getting reps, man.
Yeah.
Like, killing myself, killing my body. My senior year, I even had a stress fracture on my foot. And I had to sit out the beginning of the season just from overuse.
Really? Yeah.
Just from overuse. I just had to chill, so... I mean, that was just a reflection of how hard I was working.
How does that affect you, though, right? Because, like, you're putting all this work in, you're grinding, and then, like, just something so simple like that literally sits you out. Like, how does that affect you mentally?
Man, it was the first game. I remember I was ready. It was game day. I think it was shoot-around. And I shouldn't have told the trainers my foot was hurting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what happened. It was bothering me. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. But I told them my foot was hurt, and then they came back with the information. I think they told me it was a stress fracture. Can't play. And this was the first game, too, game day. Found out I'm sitting out. I was so ready to play. This is supposed to be my year. You know what I mean? I'm like, I remember in the change room, I was just crying because I was thinking about all the work and this happened. And, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's growth.
Take us through, like, the transition of, like, then playing professional. You know what I mean? Like, is there, like, does the love for the game change at all?
Nah, the love for the game. My love for the game is not gonna go anywhere. Honestly, I'm always gonna love the game. Like I don't even watch basketball the same as I used to, but my love for it is still there. I don't know, it's weird. And I tell guys all the time, like, or as of late, I'm like, in a way, I'm basketballed out. Not I still love it. I can still play it. You know what I mean? But I don't need to watch it all the time. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There could be a game going on, and I'm at home watching Dragon Ball Z. I just be in my own world, like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're going on that heavy. I love the anime love.
I just be in my own world, man. You know what I mean? I used to eat, sleep, dream, watch basketball. Like, you know, it used to be the only thing I'm watching. If I'm not watching the game, I'm watching highlights. If it's not highlights, I'm watching workouts or I'm watching something. Yeah. If it wasn't getting me better at basketball, I damn near wasn't even, I didn't care about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was such a basketball. But as I got older, as life went on, as time went on, it's just... You know what I mean? There's more to life, man. You know what I mean?
I love that you brought up the Dragon Ball because, like, now, like, we're, like, kind of hearing you out. It's like you got the Goku and, like, that mentality where it's like it's always training. I got to be the best no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because, like, I actually said to him, like, he's like, yo, he loves anime. And I was like, first thing I thought, Dragon Ball. And, like, it really came from, like,
that's funny. You did say that,
right? Like, because, like, it's like anime is like, even too, it's more popular now, right? Because like now everybody's kind of figuring it out, but like the OGs know, like, you know, like, and Dragon Ball was kind of the start, and like it's like if you kind of like look at like kind of how you carried yourself, it's like I've been that guy who just put it into work, knowing that you were gonna be that guy.
Yeah, that's why I rock with it so much. Yeah, for real. I think it's the best show, man. It's the most, to me. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just so inspirational, so motivational. And it's just all in there, man. Like, I got all the gems, and it's, I'll be watching Dragon Ball Z doing push-ups. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Goku's doing it on his fingers, and you're doing it too.
That show just asked me, bro. Like, it's just a comfort show for me too. I'll just put it on and go about my day too.
Was that like, because you did like kind of mention like you're a nerd or whatever. Like, was that something kind of you kind of hid like from everybody else, where it's like, because like a lot of like, you look at athletes, right? They're all like all about sports, everything like that, right? But like as we kind of like gone into like later generations where like now it's kind of cool to be a nerd, you know what I mean? Like watching anime, doing all this, like was that something that you kind of didn't feel comfortable sharing with others, or?
I don't know. I just didn't even know myself. As I got older and I was reflecting back, I was like, oh, I was always like this. You know what I mean? I just didn't. Yeah, I guess I didn't express it too.
Yeah.
I was always an intellect. You know what I mean? I didn't like reading. If you put a book in front of my face back in high school, or even, I'd be like, no, I'm not reading, man. I was the type of guy who reads something, then have to read it 10 more times just to understand it. You know, just to understand what I just read. You know what I mean? But now I love reading. I just had to apply it. You know what I mean? I guess I was scared of it. You know what I mean? It's intimidating in a way. Big words you don't understand. Like even science, I always liked science, but in school there's all these big words that you can't even understand, and the pressure, test, you don't do good, you fail. So it's like I'm not even gonna apply it. You know what I mean? 100%.
I remember one time in science class, bro, I had to read the word organism, and I was like, orgasm. And then, yo, bro, everyone's just laughing, and I'm genuinely, but you're right, like those big words, bro, they can be intimidating, bro.
And then, like, I resonate with, because it's when you gave me the 10 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson, right? I remember I'm reading this book, and I literally would go through it, and then I'd hit a word, and I'd literally pull out my phone. What the hell does this fucking mean? You know what I mean? Get the definition of it, and then like, okay, go from there, right? And it's like,
just keep on doing
exactly,
that.
right? It is a process of it, but like, I definitely resonate with the idea, because like reading, it's like when you're young, it's like it feels like a chore, right?
Yeah.
But then once you get kind of older and kind of like, you learn so much out of it, right? And you kind of even figure out yourself, because like you said, you're okay with being yourself. Me personally, I kind of hate that feeling. And when you're reading a book, it's just you in the book.
Yeah.
It's you in your mind, and you're just collecting data, and it's like, how do you get from there?
Yeah. But I do want to ask you, like, how was that coming back to London? Because I know that you were gone for a year, right? And then you played ball elsewhere. How was that coming back to London?
Last year or this year?
You left.
Because I left last year, went through something with the coach.
Yeah.
Then I came back that same year.
Oh, you came back that same year?
Yeah. Shoot, this is how it went down. The year started, me and the coach basically had a foul out. So I switched teams. I went to Montreal Tundra.
Was there a reason behind it, kind of, if you can talk on it, or?
I left on my own terms.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just, long story short, I didn't want to deal with what I was dealing with over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to make a change for myself. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be stuck there. It's like, if you don't like your job, quit. That's pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
I don't like to say quit, but enough was enough from my standpoint.
Yeah.
So I tried to leave London. I went to Montreal Tundra. I was there for like maybe about a month. It was cool over there. I was enjoying it. I was hooping. But then they released me after a practice. You know what I mean?
How does that feel?
It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? I remember getting cut. It was after practice. The GM calls me to like the corner of the court. I think I know it's gonna happen. He called somebody else before me. He called somebody else before me, and he had the walk of shame on the way back to the change room. Somebody knew what happened. He called me. Somebody knows. He's like, I got some bad news for you. And, unfortunately, you're gonna have to release you. And I looked at him like, that's crazy. That was my real reaction. I was like, that's crazy. Like, cause I'm hooping and like, you know what I mean? Like, I know he knows that I should be here. Like, I know it's some
politics.
Some other thing going on. You know what I mean?
Backwards.
Some other going on. And I'm walking back to the change room like, that is crazy. Saying that, you know what I mean? Talking in the back with my homeboy that just got released too.
Did you wild out at all? Like, was there any emotion?
Nah.
You seem pretty like calm.
Just processing it all. You know what I mean? Just trying to process it all. If anything, just rambling, saying this and that. You know what I mean? But as I'm on my way back to my room, my agent calls me. He tells me London wants to sign you again. Like 30 minutes after I got released.
Jeez.
I'm thinking I'm about to go back home, chill for a bit. You know what I mean? Just relax.
Yeah.
Not hoop for a while. So I get that call. It felt weird because it's like I wanted to get out of there. I left there. I want to bring me back. I'm thinking how other people are going to look at it like, oh, he just left, now he's coming back. I thought, you know what I mean?
Like self-sabotaging your own mind almost.
Yeah. So, you know what? I wanted to still play basketball. You know what I mean? I have to be real with myself. Yeah, so I just went back. I didn't even play as much as I, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't even know why. You gotta ask. Coach why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I didn't even play. We ended up winning the championship. But I was happy to just even be back with my teammates and everything.
How was it when they received you? Like, was it completely different from what you thought it was gonna be like?
Coming back?
Yeah.
No, it was cool. It was fine. Just basketball wise, playing wise, I wasn't able to rock out. You know what I mean? Like I was able to this year.
Yeah.
But
like, so what's the big difference, bro? Because you're definitely like rocking out this year. Like,
you're going
crazy, man.
Just
playing. Last year, I think I don't know. I was playing maybe like 5 minutes a game.
That's it. Yeah.
Last year, and that might have been in increments. You know what I mean? 1 minute, one time, subbed out. 2 minutes, subbed out. You can't get no rhythm. You can't play. You know what I mean? So this year, I'm playing minimum, I think maybe 25.
Yeah.
So I'm able to get some rhythm, flow, and just play, man. In sports, that's what you need. You need rhythm. You need
motion,
flow. You know what I mean? You gotta catch a feel. You can't be out there for 2 minutes and expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
And damn near anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
So how long have you been in London for?
This will be my 4th season.
Yeah. So you've been like 4 years out here.
Yeah,
so like, what do you think about London, bro? Because everyone talks shit. Everyone's like, you know,
every time I ask somebody about London and where they're from, I'm born and raised in London. Unfortunately, it always comes out.
Like, why do we get that? You know, that end of the stick.
I want to know why too. Like,
you love London a lot.
Honestly, if I grew up here, I could understand.
Why you want to get it? No, you went that way.
I can understand.
We know this.
I can understand. But me being not from here, it's like I don't know. To me, it's like Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's a cool little town, man. It has a little bit of everything. You're gonna see everything.
Yeah. Trust. And we're only getting bigger. You know.
You're gonna see. Depending on how much time you spend out here, you're gonna see. You can see everything. But for me, London was a place where, looking at it now, just a place for me to grow, launch my career, or just start off my career, kick off my career, whatever you want to say. I grew a lot here, learned a lot, and it's just a start off spot for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, overall, I enjoyed London. I had some of the best times of my life out here in London.
Yeah.
We know.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially like even too coming from like Ajax, like GTA style area. Like, was it a big life swap? Because like you even and even too like you went to Montreal. Montreal is like it's different out there. You know what I mean? So like having those like different distractions, I guess. Right? Do you feel like in London you're a lot more focused because of like how it is?
Man, honestly, everywhere. Cause I've been so many places, man. Like, and I moved so much in my childhood. Like I've been all over the world, man. So many cities, so many different environments. Spent so much time different places. So London it's just another different spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a new experience. For real.
As an athlete, like obviously, like our bodies, once they get older, and it's hard to like stay in the sport for a long time, right? Like, do you kind of have a plan B like already, or you kind of set your mind on something else, or?
I think that's something athletes think about all the time, man. Cause like we know the ball gonna stop dribbling someday, and we're gonna have to do something else. I think about it all the time, and I'm kind of transitioning that or putting my mind towards that. What am I gonna do? Ownership.
Yeah,
I know we hear that a lot. You know what I mean? And as athletes, I think that's our thing, cause we are our own business in a way. You know what I mean? It's our name, it's our brand. We're doing the work. So I think I know that's the route. You know what I mean?
Did you have a dream
ownership.
before ball? Like, was there like, did you want to be a doctor? Like, did you see yourself as anything else other than a baller?
I told my mom I wanted to be a preacher.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Like, so you've had a really deep connection with like religion and God, I assume, right?
I say God, yeah. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to be in religion, but then I kind of stepped that aside for a look. I won't say I put it to the side. I'm just saying I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I kind of always said that too. I went to church every Sunday too. And you know what I mean? still read. That's how I used to read the Bible. I still read the Bible. You know what I mean? But I just always been very spiritual. You know what I mean? I didn't even understand it when I was younger, but I do now.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing.
It's weird when it turns into active faith. Like that's when it's weird. When you're like, okay, like this is kind of real. Like that. That's when it's like.
Yeah.
Did you remember a moment when it turned like for you?
What do you mean?
Like for example, like you know how like like you're religious and like when you go to church as a kid, it's kind of like a chore. It's kind of like, but then the older you get, it's more like like I get it. Like I'm like you're more like okay, like it changes. You know what I mean? Because like for example, like for me, it was like I was living in Ottawa, like trying to like run a business out there. My boy fucking failed, bro. Yeah. Like we had like no like hydro cut off, like 30 minutes still be light, and then an hour and a half no light, and then 30 minutes light, and then like I remember just walking with my dog every single day praying, and then like I just felt like okay, like there's something there. You know what I mean?
No, I always believed in God or higher power, Most High. Always. There was never a second when I didn't believe in that. But just religion and being in Christianity and being in that whole thing, I'd say I completely took myself out. Like completely, maybe sometime in college, man. You know what I mean? Or kind of right before COVID.
Yeah.
And then right before COVID. And then my first year pro overseas in Luxembourg, that's when I spent the most time by myself.
Heavy yeah. We're diving that just now.
Yeah. That was the first time I spent the most time by myself. And like for the first week, I didn't have no game system with me, no Wi-Fi or anything like that. So really just me on my phone. And when you spend that much time by yourself, a lot of things come together. You know what I mean? So that's when a lot of things started to come together for me. Started to really know who I am and just really aligning myself.
So you said you moved a lot. So like even too now, like how much have you traveled? Like how much of the world have you seen?
Man.
And like what's your background too? Let's start
my
there.
parents are Jamaican.
Okay.
They were born in Jamaica and they moved here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're born in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I was born in Scarborough. We moved to New Mexico because my dad got a coaching job down there.
Damn,
so we lived down in New Mexico for a little bit. That was cool. My backyard was like a desert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We moved back to Scarborough. I could even get it wrong too because we moved so many times. Then we moved to Ajax.
Yeah.
Then we moved somewhere else in Ajax. That's 5 times. And then for me, I went to prep school in New Jersey. And when I came back, when I wasn't in school, I was going back to Scarborough for the summer. And then after that year, I went to Cleveland. And then coming back for that summer, back to Scarborough. And then I was going to Chicago, there for 4 years. Visiting home in the summertime. Then from there, after Chicago, I went to Luxembourg for 9 months. Then I was living back again. Now I was living in Durham again. And I just moved back to Toronto. Yeah. Yeah, so I've been... And even traveling in between, when I'm in school, we're going this city to play. We're going to this city to play. AAU, you're going to this city. You know what I mean? And
do you feel like that has affected you, like creating like close relationships because you're always moving?
It definitely affected my like intimate relationships I had with females. For sure. Just with distance and having to leave home and things like that. So that definitely like takes a hit. Yeah. But I got to meet so many great people, see so many great things, do so many great things. I'm just grateful I got to see so many places and go so many places and come across so many people. You know, that's the biggest thing I take from it, just the people I meet on my journey. Like, it's the dopest, funniest, craziest, coolest
it's
people.
It's like a superstar life, right?
Yeah.
Has it been hard to build relationships with females, especially as an athlete, right? Because, like, a lot of time you got ice on you always, right? Like, you're...
Courtside, probably.
They're like, as we said, you're a superstar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're always going to get attention from something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, with all this distraction around you, it's like, how do you really, like, lock in on, like, somebody?
I mean, shoot, people do distance all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's my decision. You know what I mean? It's what I want. You know what I mean? Never wanted to settle or just to be in something, And, you know, I love my peace. I love my freedom.
Yeah.
You know, so... No, trust me, I'm a lover man at heart, man. Like,
I think we both, all three of us, could say that, you know.
Lover man at heart, man. Yeah. But you know, I stay single because I don't wanna cheat. You know what I mean? But right now, as of right now, I got a boo. I got a boo right now.
Yeah.
I gotta save my soul in case she watches.
Cover the bases.
I got a boo right now, but
yeah.
Before that, nah, man. I'm very selective. You know what I mean? I don't just because you want me, doesn't mean I want you. You know what I mean? I'm not like there be people like, hey, yo, she wants you get on. I was like, I'm cool. You got like, you know what I mean? Like, don't call me bougie or you know, like, I am. Like, you know what I mean?
You
like,
got options, so you can
I'm
pick.
bougie,
You can
man.
pick.
I don't just go for or just take whatever's there. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I'm very selective, very, very aware, self-aware.
What's makes you, like, for example, what makes you lock in on a woman, like, quality-wise, you know?
People ask me what my type is. I don't really have a type, man. Honestly. Like, if you look good, you look good to me. You could be green, purple, you could whatever. If you look good to me, you just look good. You could look like an alien. But if I think you're beautiful, it don't even matter. You know what I mean? Bro. So, honestly, you gotta, for me, looks is one thing, but away from that, you gotta be funny, have a sense of humor.
Humor in what way, though? Like,
you just gotta make me laugh. I gotta think you're funny.
Yeah.
Or you just gotta be funny, man. Have a sense of humor. Not take life so serious.
Like dark humor almost in a way?
Dark humor, whatever. Just, you know what I mean? Funny. Dark humor is funny. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm funny. I think I find everything funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys, but you gotta be funny. Have a good mind on you. Be self-aware. And you just gotta have an aura to you, honestly. I like confidence in a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta find you beautiful too, man. Like,
is family a big thing for you?
Yeah.
Like, just like having like those relationships with family?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I know you were talking about like you walking around as like your personal brand, right? Your own kind of business. Like, did your career kind of force you to become a business person, or like what? How do you manage that aspect of life?
It's something I just took upon myself, really. You know what I mean? Even just hearing my name, or you hear your name a lot when you're an athlete or a basketball player, whatever you're doing. It's Marcus Ottey. Like, I gotta do something with this. That's just how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? When I hear my own name, like, I gotta set a foundation. I gotta, you know what I mean? Start take care of my legacy, or you know what I mean? Like, it motivates me. I gotta do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
is there any like conflict of interest, like being in a professional league and then also taking, like, let's say you want to do a sponsorship with a company? Do you have to ask for permission, or like how does that work?
No. Don't got you unless you sign a contract.
Yeah.
I don't know, with Nike or something like that. You can't be wearing
Adidas
or advertising Adidas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. If you don't sign nothing, you know, you're damn near free to do whatever you want. For real.
Yeah.
How important is like so I asked earlier about an agent, right? I want to ask, like, how many agents have you had, and how important is the athlete agent relationship?
You know, I'm in the stage where I'm still learning about it. You know what I mean? I have one agent, two agents actually. Well, I've had two. I have one overseas that puts in work, and I have one here that I've known for a while. How important is it? I know guys who get their own jobs their own. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who they're basically their own agent. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they make decent money. So, honestly, I won't even say... And a good agent definitely helps. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Having a good agent and connections and who you know, definitely the main thing. Connections, and that's the main thing. Like, for example, Rich Paul, your agent, that's LeBron's agent. If you got
good right there.
You know what I mean? that's going to help a lot just because name, status, things like that. So I won't say it's the main thing, but it is definitely important. But there are guys I know who pretty much their own agent and negotiate their own contracts. And
do they ever teach you how to deal with an agent throughout your any of your career?
No one taught me.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe some guys got taught throughout their journey, but not at school.
I feel like they should. They have to.
It's not like a class. I never took no class or anything like that. I mean, people tell you things on the way, like, you know what I mean, this and that, and how things are going to be. You know what I mean? I have my assistant coach at UIC. Everything I'm going through now, he told me was going to happen, or how the pro life is, or everything. He told me how it was going to be, and that's how it was. But, like, there was no class for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of just happens to you,
yeah.
I feel like an athlete is like one of those things that it's like it still needs to be added like more respect to it. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, like the doctor and an athlete, like it's like the same amount of time committed to your craft, right? And like those are things that are important for athletes, bro. Is like knowing how to deal with agents and monetizing your name and stuff like that. Because like that's like your body is your like that's what you do for work, bro. It's dependent on you. It's crazy, bro. I feel like it's such a unique career, right? Especially when we're older.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's like even too, look at like how people idolize like athletes, like LeBron, for example. But like there's a surgeon out there that does the best, always saves lives, everything like that, but we don't know his name. You know? We know LeBron.
It's because entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sports, it's an entertainment business. You know what I mean? But doctors and people who save people's lives and help people in all different ways definitely should get a whole lot of credit. We definitely got to just acknowledge that at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you ever get like nervous before games now?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shoot. All the time.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes away. Not like super nervous.
Yeah.
Shaking, but like it's a little nervous. Like, you know,
Do you have like a pregame ritual, something you like always do?
Not no ritual, man. Honestly, I just go about it so laid back, man. Like I don't even be caring about the game for real. Like I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like I go into it like it's just a game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is. It's just basketball, man. Like I go into it like I'm about to go shoot out my court up the road that I used to play on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm literally about to go play street ball or something like that. That's literally how I go into the game. I'm listening to music, warming up, like just vibing. Not even.
What's your track?
I listen to everything, man. It could be pregame and I'm listening to music. I could be listening to, like, if you take my headphone out, I could be either listening to some Future, reggae, R&B. Like it could be No One by Alicia Keys playing. Or it could be, you know, it could be Future, Accepting My Flaw. It could be, you know what I mean, or something. It could be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I just have to feel good. You know what I mean? I just have to feel good and calm, and that's it.
When you're in a game, what is the thing that literally sets you off to be like just go monster like you did at the game we watched? I'm telling you, dog, like you went crazy. So, like as we said earlier, somebody made you mad in some way, bro, and you're just like, like you dunked. Like I remember you literally just dunked on the guy and just looked at him. I was like, okay, yo, somebody did something.
I just knew that. I know what player you're talking about. I just knew.
I think we all do.
I knew I was gonna dunk that one. When I know I'm about to dunk it, it just looks like that.
Yeah.
From when I just dunk it quickly, you know what I mean? But when I see the lane and I know I'm about to rise up and dunk it, it's gonna look like I'm mad or something like that. So, but nah, man, really just having fun, man. Really just, you guys just saw.
What do you think about the season this year? Like, where you guys like?
Man, it was up and down. I had a lot of changes. You know what I mean? It's tough to win a lot of games and even win a championship when there's a lot of changes, and even the new coach. We had a new coach this year too, so new system. It was just a whole new way of going about things this year. So, you know what I mean? I guess on a broad scale, you're gonna go through that as an organization sometimes. So we just had one of those years for real.
Yeah.
How is the player-coach relationship? Like, do you think it's pretty valuable to actually be really good, like have a good relationship with your coach?
Oh yeah, I think that's important because, you know what I mean, the player's gonna wanna play for you even more, or just respect you even more and just have your back even more. He's gonna wanna win games. We play for each other, yourselves, and the coach, obviously, but you know what I mean. You're gonna wanna just play for you're just gonna want to play for your coach that much more if you rock with him and respect him and just like him as a person. If you guys have a good relationship too, it just makes both guys' jobs easier and better and more fun at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Would you say that the little kid version of you, would he be proud of the man you are today?
Yeah.
And why?
Cause he just see it and be like, oh, okay.
That's
you know
real
what I
though.
mean?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm on the right path.
Let's go, bro.
You know what I mean, so I be doing that. I be thinking about my younger self and just reflecting and you know what I mean, how I even got to this point or even got myself how I am right now. And I see my future self all the time too. You know what I mean? He be visiting me all the time too.
Who is he then? Like, what's the 5-year plan?
I don't know who he is. He just makes quick little visits.
Yeah.
And you just fly, man. That's it. You just fly and he gives me a head nod like, you good. Keep going.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
almost
what I mean?
there. You're getting there.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you like are you really big on like the whole like visualization and manifestation and that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
Or?
no doubt. I know we create our own reality for real. Like, you know what I mean? We manifest our lives every day, even if we don't even realize it. You know what I mean? So on a broad scale, yeah, you make the bed you lay in. Yeah, there's a bunch of things we can't control. There's a bunch of things you can't control out here, but you know what I mean? You control how you react to it and go about it. And you know what I mean? That's where you create the change.
Yeah. Should we get into the speed rounds?
Just before,
Yeah.
because I remember you brought up, like, when I asked you, AI. You brought up AI. What's your thoughts on that? Because you definitely, I feel like you want to talk about that. Like, where's your thoughts on AI? Where's that?
I don't really care for it that much. Like, I feel like, yeah, there's going to be more artificial intelligence as time goes on, robots and everything like that. I'm honestly just ready for whatever is to come, man. Like, you guys know the world getting crazy out here, man.
Yeah.
So,
ChatGPT is crazy.
Yeah,
brother.
bro.
Like, crazy.
yeah, see, I never even tapped into that.
Really?
Bro, it's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, respond to any email. Like, you'd be like, yo, respond to this email, and then you could be like, be better.
Yeah.
Be better. And the
Yeah.
computer's just getting better and better. And it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah, nah,
Like-
it's crazy. Robots, like, they're probably going to have robots that look just like humans. You're probably not even be able to tell the difference between a robot and a human. So, nah, it's getting spooky out here.
Do you have any big, like, conspiracy theories that you're like, okay, that's probably true?
Yeah.
Let's dive in this. And I know,
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I mean, robot. You guys seen iRobot?
Yeah, oh yeah. The original Will Smith.
I feel like that that right there is enough
Yeah.
to see. Like, I'm not saying that gonna happen. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's gonna happen. But like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
we're not
like,
far off. Like,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Like, how much we're merging with, like, technology.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, the human eventually just loses the soul,
Yeah.
like the purpose. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
we literally become just like, well, it's crazy because like the whole idea is like we end up like we're not God, but we almost become God when you start building a robot that becomes itself, right? Because like when we look at like God made us and we're the way we are, and then now we're actually building out these robots, these like
a whole nother
it's a whole new species at this point, right?
Yeah. So who's that robot's creator? That's like, it could be Elon Musk. That's Elon Musk's its creator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's its most high down there.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, like, am I not, like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
He literally created. Like, and so what you saying is not even wrong for real.
You believe in aliens? Like, what's your thoughts?
I was just about to ask that, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
It's wild. It's wild, eh? Like, when you think about it, bro, we're just floating out here. We're just floating in a ball on Earth.
What is it? We're just a giant rock floating through space with ants living on it.
I definitely feel like we're not alone. I feel like there's thousands of other species. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's scarier to you, like that we might be alone, or that there's 1,000 other species?
It's what's scarier to me.
Yeah, is there like?
Either one scares me. I think there's 1,000 other species.
Yeah.
Gotta be like. You see all these sea creatures, like
you
see what an octopus looks like.
Yeah. Bro, you have like
if there's something that looks like an octopus, like
that's crazy. Even too, like you have to. So if you do a procedure on octopus, you actually have to use anesthesia on it because otherwise it's animal cruelty. That's what that's how it is because they're so intelligent.
Damn. Yeah.
So it's like we're not far. And like the other stat is we know more about what's in space, which is above us, other than what we know underwater.
No, I feel like I tell people this all the time. I feel like you get to space through the water. There's a conspiracy for you.
That's
interesting.
That's interesting. I never heard that, but like that's actually like I can vibe with that one though.
Cause sounds weird, like you get up there through down here, type of thing.
Yeah.
It's got to be complex. You know what I mean. So,
what's like the idea? Have we actually been? Like, I don't care. I'm gonna say this to the audience right now. Call me crazy. I don't think we've been on the moon. I'm gonna say that.
Oh no.
That's all cap.
They fake that.
Yeah.
They fake that.
And then what I was gonna say is like the whole pyramid stuff. When they found all these big structures underneath these pyramids, bro, it's like how were those guys doing that back in the day? Right. You know what I mean? It's wild, bro. I guess it's questions that we'll never really know the answer to.
We can't do it now, right? Like we're not moving these blocks, and like it's like the same idea. It's like why haven't we been back to like the moon race or whatever? Oh, it's because we've done it. Nah, it's like did it happen? Yeah. And like maybe I look crazy. I don't care, but like it's like I'd rather be the person that questions it than be the one who's naive enough to just believe everything someone tells me.
No doubt. I question everything.
You have to
question everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Literally, you have to.
Yeah, definitely one of those.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, let's get into the speed round questions.
Yeah,
you got them?
No, I don't. But we would. So yeah, so like speed round, we just like we'll ask you some random questions. We'll go back and forth between us two, and you just shoot a shot.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Run it.
So the first one that we went through was, I'm gonna go like very easy. Tits or ass, and why? We gotta throw you out.
Trumbo, please.
Ass. Okay.
Yes. Why though?
I like tits too, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm cool with a fat ass and no tits than the fat tits no ass.
That's I'd
rather have that.
Yeah, it's fucking fair enough, bro.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I like cats though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see it because you're a solitary guy.
I like cats. I like cats.
So who deserves MVP, Jokic or Shea?
Shea.
Oh, there we go. Let's go.
There you go.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah, he's from the city, man. He used to play. He used to play around with same organization I play on. He used to be a part of that too. We ain't never had no real relationship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, we know of each other though. You know what I mean? Respect. Yeah.
Canada or US?
Canada. It's bias.
That's it, baby. That's it. Let's go. Yeah. But yeah, no, bro, that's like pretty much all like the speed round questions, yo. And like, I guess, is there anything like you'd want to get off your chest for our audience? Because this has been a blessing for them, bro. Like, you know, the London Lightning, like the stars out here talking to the boys. So,
man, I'm super, super grateful and appreciative for these guys having me. It's my first podcast I ever did. It was fun. You know what I mean? I enjoyed my time here in London. I may be back. I may be taking my talents elsewhere. But at the end of the day, it's all love. Always will be love. And thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. But we'll make sure to add all your, your IG handle and everything, and hopefully next time we have you on, you have the trophy here.
Yeah,
let's do it, brother.
Even too, maybe if maybe he's in the bigger leagues, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's go, bro. But no, I appreciate you so much taking the time, man, and like, we'll obviously, we'll be in touch, man. Yeah. And for all of you guys watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And another great episode for you guys. You guys are spoiled.
See you soon.
Peace.
Sir.